Alright, welcome to match 3 of this league. We are on the play, currently 0-2, having lost to Infect and then Jund. This hand has some ramp, has some citadels, has champion. That gets me pretty excited. I'll keep it. Not doing anything crazy turn 1, but it's going to be a turn 2 champion as long as they don't have disruption. And, yeah, it makes for a super sad turn 1. But it could make for a super awesome turn 2. It won't make for a super awesome turn 2. Because they should most definitely take Edge Champion. Hands down. Yeah. That's the play to make. Well, next turn I'm going to go ahead and play... I think I'm going to play this Master of Ethereum. Because that's a decent amount of damage that it represents. And if I get another sort of cheap artifact next turn, it can be another 2 power bigger. So, that's good. Or a plating. Plating will work. Yeah. I'll play that. I'm gonna snap play that. Cranial plating. Yeah. Yeah, that feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. The only way that could be improved is if it was an Edge Champion, to be honest. Because the Master's pretty vulnerable right now. Scoos. Well, they're dead. Opponent's dead. Awesome. So it's another Jund matchup. Not something I'm terribly excited about. But, gonna go ahead and kill that. And just kill him with what I have on the board. Yeah, I think I will be taking out Alpine Moon and putting in Blood Moon. I think it's gonna hurt Jund more where it's gonna help me. Because I think I've been struggle busting a little with Jund lately. Let's see. Those, the Memnites. I saw the Scoos, so I'm just gonna assume this is a fairly regular Jund build and do what I did last game. If I see anything different, I will adapt. But I should update the match record. 0-1. Okay. We're updated. So being on the draw against Jund is going to be a bit harder. I'm hoping for a relatively fast hand. This kind of fits the bill. If I had a zero drop creature, it would fit the bill. I think this will do. Because it can ramp. My deck I plan to run 4 Masters 0 etched. Mason, I will agree with you. I would counter with, it definitely depends on your meta. Etched Champion is so extremely useful, at least to me right now. I've not really regretted having Etched Champion. I've almost regretted having Master of Ethereum more. Completely agree that in the matchups that it's bad, it's really bad, but I don't think it's bad right now. Oh yeah, thanks Mason, you're right, I did update that wrong. Haha. Okay, so they took Steel Overseer, which is a reasonable card to take. I was hoping that would be a land. So next turn, I can play the Pest, play the Drum, and have Stubborn Denial open. Ah, man. They're just playing the Rip My Hand Apart game. This is Jund. Welcome. fun to play against. Yeah, I needed a slightly faster hand to be able to get this stuff out of my hand. Really just a 0-drop creature. But we did board out 2 of those. So the odds are diminished. Yeah, them taking Summoner now makes sense. Played myself, I was just watching. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having that opinion. Nothing wrong with it. It depends on the meta, I'd say. If you have a lot of decks that are going to fight your hand, fight your creatures, then Edge Champion's going to shine. I'm going to go ahead and play the Pest here so that I have access to the mana. And then I'm going to debate over Ravager or Overseer. I'm thinking Overseer because it represents greater damage over time. It does represent a little more fragility, but if they're spending the stuff on Overseer, then I think I'm okay with that. It also represents another activation that I wouldn't have if I played the Ravager first. And especially because they have stuff like Fatal Push, it's not going to matter if I have Ravager to be able to get bigger. It would just represent a single counter going over onto Signal Pest. In earlier builds, Mason, I've played 2-2 between Master and Edge Champion, but that was kind of because I couldn't decide, and I was also of the same mindset that, like, when Edge Champion's bad, it's pretty bad. But I think it kind of evens out in the end. Field of Ruin. I don't think I'll feel very ruined if they ruin my... Okay, Tarmagiggle. Tarmagiggle. That's a pretty good one. Rest in peace? No, another drum. Useless. Well, I guess I shouldn't say useless. It's not useless. I'm gonna go ahead and play this pre-combat. And I'm gonna play the drum pre-combat too, to have more food for the Ravager if it gets killed. Now I'm gonna come in with this Signal Pest. And then I'm gonna activate, and we're gonna see what happens. They're not going to do anything. Okay. That's fine. I'm very okay with that. Yeah, I'm liking the board right now. I can outrace a 4/5 Tarmogoyf with a Steel Overseer and an Arcbound Ravager on the field. I guess Ravager's not going to quite be attacking yet. I guess the Blink Moth is useful too. But Ravager won't be attacking until I can get it bigger than Tarmogoyf without sacrificing a lot of my field. Yeah, Field of Ruin. I guess that would have been reason to keep Ravager around, but getting the land is reasonable. It does afford them another black source. I don't know if that matters for them, but it does do that. Yep, just taking the 5. Well, this means I'm definitely swinging with Ravager. Oh, yeah. Swinging all day with Ravager. There's 1 piece of food for that Scavenging Ooze. And this Ravager's gonna get pretty big, because I do not need this many Springleaf Drums. I guess... Yeah, I'm going to see how the opponent blocks. If at all. They might think that they have a better chance. Yeah. On the crackback. So, my question Do I get an extra 2, maybe 3 or 4 damage going right now, or do I leave back Steel Overseer? No, because Steel Overseer at best is going to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm going to eat. It's currently 7 damage. If I bump it up to 8, it's not a 2-turn clock. If I bump it up to 9, it's not a 2-turn clock. Oh, but with the activations. So that's 7 this turn. It's 9 next turn if it goes unblocked. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to eat one more drum. Because the most expensive thing that I can draw right now is Karn, and that's only 4 mana. So I think getting in that extra point is useful. I'm going to be very sad if they have some sort of mass removal. Really, removal of any kind makes me sad right now. But it's not too bad. We're up a game, so that's a little bit better. Ba-da-ba-ba. 2044, 2016. Are we in hour 20? Yes, we are in hour 20. Okay. So this is match to Jund. Looking at the recording file. Apologies for my distraction. So they're going to leave Skoos back. Probably to just chump the Ravager, which makes sense. Since that Ravager, if they don't have any removal, represents a decent amount of damage. They might be hurting for red right now, actually. Yeah, but when they used Field of Ruin, they didn't fetch red. So I'm not sure what's going on. They're holding 3 cards back. They could just be playing it safe. Liliana. Tasigur. Okay, there's naught that I can do about Tasigur. I guess that's more food. So they can double block, but can I get to 11? On the Pest? How risky is it if I try that? Fairly risky. They have a mana up. I'm not going to do it, but I think I could. Yeah, if they tapped out. Unfortunately, they did not tap out. I'm fairly certain, even if they double block, I can defend my Ravager from dying. They're fairly likely to have Fatal Push. They're just chumping. I'm at 10. Do they have a way of killing me next turn? They have 8 damage right now. They can activate Treetop, can't they? Or do you need green mana for that? You do need green mana for that. I'm going to not activate Overseer yet. Because the extra 1 point of damage on Pest doesn't do anything, and if I leave Overseer back, I can have a blocker. I'm hoping that's not necessary, but it is a thing that could happen. But they have gone to combat without playing a land or anything, so Tasigur's not going to activate. They have 3 cards in hand. Need to block either way. So you're saying I need to block now? I don't think I need to block now. If they're only attacking with Tarmogoyf, I don't think I need to block now. Yeah. If they swing with both. They'd be 2 damage away from killing me. What do you... Oh, I suppose if they're holding red mana up. They don't even have to hold red mana, because they can Field of Ruin for a mountain. And then Lightning Bolt me. But this Tarmogoyf, I'm not going to block. I think I'm better off having Steel Overseer potentially as another attacker next turn. Because they can't hit me, I guess, unless they have a mountain in hand. If their hand is precisely a mountain and 2 bolts. Okay, it's not. So, we're okay. Deck, I really wish that you wouldn't do that to me. Oh, ho hum. I think I can still attack with Signal Pest and Ravager, because they have to block with Tasigur, right? Yeah. And then I can leave Overseer back as a blocker. So, beginning of combats. Get in with the 2 that I've been getting in with. And step tap. Oh yeah, Steel Overseer. Yep, we got there. So they can't not block this. Yeah. And activating Ravager doesn't do anything. I think I have to play it safe and still not go all in on Signal Pest. Just playing around them having Fatal Push. Though, honestly, if they had Fatal Push, they probably should have used it on Overseer. But we're going to go ahead and sit like that. I'm going to leave Spire in my hand to pretend I have something. And they're going to... They just want another... They want probably red. They should have chosen my mountain. Do they not have red mana? Have we not seen them have red mana? Are they just green-black? I don't remember. So they have... They have the mana to kill me this turn, I guess. Now. If they have Fatal Push in hand, they can activate Treetop Village, attack with Treetop and Tarmogoyf before blocks, kill Steel Overseer, and I will be dead. In that case, it happens. But I think I had to attack in order to kill Tasigur. Because they would have had too many blockers anyway. They're playing another Tasigur. Okay. If they attack with Tarmogoyf, I'm going to block. Alright. I can't help but wonder if they possibly have a Fatal Push. Maybe they've just been slow rolling me this whole time. That is possible. But I'm going to get in. Not with everyone. Or do I win if I get everyone with everyone? No, I don't, because they just block these 2. Well, they would, if they block these 2, I get in with this, and then they're at 1. But that's... Excuse me. That doesn't do it. So I think I have to keep doing the same old, same old. If I had another creature to play, this would be so much better. And despite... If they have nothing, they have a tireless tracker. And they're gonna have a clue? Aw, man. If I gotten in for that extra damage, they wouldn't be able to do that. Can't you just eat? Yes, I definitely could have eaten with Ravager and potentially won, but this entire time they have had a black mana open, which means they would potentially have Fatal Push, and then I would just lose both of my creatures. Did they play a land? They played a land already, right? They're just looking at cards in their deck at this point. Yeah, okay. So they didn't have the Fatal Push. So, Mason, what we were playing around was, in case it didn't come through, if I were to have eaten Ravager and dumped onto Signal Pest, if they had a Fatal Push, which it looks like they were hoping they had, and they're just looking at all the cards, then I would be out the Ravager and the Pest and only have the Overseer, and they would have just killed me on the crackback. They would have been too far ahead. So what I was doing instead was, yes, playing a lot more slowly and giving them opportunity to see more cards, but if they had the card, then I was playing around them having it. They couldn't have Fatal Push. They would have had 2 opportunities to win. Oh, yeah, I was saying that before, wasn't I, Nutty? Because they could have Fatal Pushed Overseer, and then they would have just killed me with Treetop. Yep. In which case, I was getting too obsessed with playing carefully. Yeah, yeah. Y'all right. Alright, but hey, finally won one. Puts us at 1 and 2. Hopefully I can crawl back and make 3-2.